Hello everybody, welcome back to the Bison Workshop. I'm Bob, and we're going to work on a project for one of my customers who asked me to make something special for him. So we're having a Trump coffee, and we'll set that down and we'll show you what we got going on. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is look at the drawing and the pictures, and I'll post them right now. Basically all it is just a thumb screw with a pointed end. Looks like about a 30-degree angle. So it could be, no, it's a 30-degree, I'm sure. Then again, it could be a 45. We'll see. But anyway, we've got to make this, and it's not the typical knurling. It's a groove, a round groove that goes around it. There's 8 of them. So, and then it's got a healthy chamfer on it, and then we're going to drill and tap that piece out of this aluminum right here. And I'm going to make 2 of them. So, I'm only going to show you making 1 of them. So, this is 7/8, and we're just going to do a cleanup pass on it to get it cleaned up, and then we'll probably do, these are 1 inch from top to bottom, so we'll face it off, and we'll put a slot where we're going to cut it, and then we'll go and do the same thing to the next one. So then we'll go from there. So I went and got these studs that is the same size as this, 10mm by 1.50 thread, and it just so happened that I had them in the form of deck bolts or adjusters for a John Deere or Cub Cadet, and it just happened to have the same threads. So this is the perfect piece to use. So I already cut one. So these are so cheap, it didn't bother me to cut them up. So we'll take and wire wheel these and make them look new again, and chase the threads if we have to, and make them nice and pretty. And so then we'll drill this in to where it doesn't come out the other side once we get this piece done. And then this will be Loctited in them threads when we thread it. So we're going to use red Loctite for that, because it will be permanently affixed to this bolt. We don't want it to come loose. Now what this is, the guy that wants me to make this, he's a competition air rifle shooter, and he was telling me the furthest he's ever shot was 800 yards. Man, that's some serious gun for a 25 caliber to shoot that far with an air rifle. That's a pretty good setup. So he's got a competition gun rest that he uses, and the front one, the adjuster, the leveler, you got 2 on one end, and you can see it in the picture. And 1 on the other end, but the one on the other end doesn't have a knurled handle on it. So he wants to change that and make that. So I told him I'd make him 2 of them just so he'd have a spare. So anyway, we'll get over to the lathe and see if we can't start making this. So now we're going to put this in the chuck as far as it'll go. And then we're going to center drill that after we face it off. So now we've got to turn that until it's cleaned up. Now, because we have so much stick out, I could have shortened this, but I just didn't feel like it. And this is a little oversized anyway, so we need to bring that down. Alright, so now what I need to do is we need to figure out where we're going to make our first mark. So I'm going to square up my tool post. Alright, so here is where it gets tricky. I have to figure out a way to index this. Alright guys, we're back, and I had to do a whole lot of machining just to make this happen. I made an indexer, and I don't know how good it's going to work, but I'm going to see if I can't make this happen. But we're basically broaching on this knobs, and we're trying to get it to where it looks pretty damn close to the original. So I've already broached one of them, and I'll show you what I did to be able to do that. So I put a drawbar through the center of the spindle, and there's a lock nut in there, one of them plastic lock nuts, and a bushing that I made on the 3D printer that will keep it centered. Alright, then it comes over to this side, and I made another bushing right here with the 3D printer, and then I made another bushing to go inside of this one to keep it centered. Now it's a little off, but it's at the point where it can still work. So this here comes off of my dividing head, and I just made a bracket here to mount to this, and threaded the hole right here, and then put a nut on it to bring it out, space it so I could shut my lid. And I threaded this and put it in there, and there's a nut on this, and then on the inside of this collar I wallered it out to allow it to bypass this nut right here, because there's this nut here, there's another one here, and that keeps this 1/4-20. I like for it to be 5/16, but I don't have any 5/16 all thread, so I had to use 1/4-20, and eventually I'll make this 5/16 because that will fit a 5/16 bolt. So I've already done the first one, and I'm using a 16 plate off of my dividing head. So that goes on here. So I'm using number 16 because we're trying to get eight grooves made in it. So I've already done one. You probably can't see it because I've turned it down, but it was right here. And I put my round bit in here, and it's a little hard. I actually need a sharper bit, but I probably should have ground one, but that's another story. That's coming up. That's another video coming up, guys. But anyway, I've got two knobs here, and we're going to broach both of them at the same time. And we're only going 0.30 millimeters deep. So I've got my DRO set so that when I'm at 0, I've reached my mark. So I'm going to put you up here, and basically once I do this one, then I'll come over here, and I got to be really careful because there's no locking system on this. I'm going to try to put some kind of a locking system in here to have it so it can lock. But right now I just have to be really careful. So then I just take, and since I'm using the 16, we're trying to get 8. So if I skip every other one, I'll have 8 on my dial or my handles. So I've already got it set for the next one, and we'll go ahead and try to broach this. It may not look pretty, but we'll see. So I'm going to try to get you here in a place where you guys can see what's going on. I can't get you any closer, I don't think. I don't want you up in my way either. So I'm going to set up here, and I'm just broaching to this line. So we're going to come in there, we're going to touch off, and then we're going to scribe all the way across. And you see the shaving coming off. Alright, so now we've got that one done, I believe. Alright, so now we'll go to the next one. So we're going to just pull this pin out, and I'm probably going to have my arm in your way. And we need to go 2 holes that way. So I'm going to have to get my light here, guys. Can't see. And I hate that flashing light on that thing. You got to hit it twice. Alright, so I'm going to try to turn this with one hand. So we're going to have to go to 1 and then 2. And pop it in. And then we'll broach the next one. And we'll just keep on doing that. So enjoy the music. Alright guys, so now that we've got all these in there, it's hard to see it right now, but it's too shiny. So let me cut these off, because I'm going to finish them individually. So we've got to drill it, each one of them, and tap them for 10 millimeter by 1.50. So we'll get these cut and we'll be back. Alright guys, we cut these off with the bandsaw, and now since this one's already pre-drilled, we're going to go ahead and start with this one. So the first thing I want to do is wrap something around that. So let me see if I got some in here. I should have some in here. Well, I'm going to have to find me another piece. Where did I put that? Alright, we're going to have to make a collet for this, I guess. So there you have it. I cut these to length, and I had to cut 9 threads off. And I took and put red Loctite in it, so it ain't coming back apart. I need some more. That bottle's pretty old. But anyway, my battery's getting ready to go dead, so these are the 2 thumb screws that he wanted me to make. JC, thank you for giving me the opportunity to make these for you, and I hope they serve you well. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. You guys have a good one. Later.